Hey, what's up guys, Lux here bringing you a new video, and today we are going to be taking a look at Lego Minecraft Dungeon set 21163, the Redstone Battle. This set came with 504 pieces and retailed for $40 in the US. This is a bit of a unique set, seeing how it's the only tie-in set to Minecraft Dungeon so far that we're aware of, and it came out like near its release date. So yeah, that's like pretty neat in itself. And one other thing to note is my current version of the box that I have is different from the boxes of the set that originally released. Upon a little bit of research, I found out that over here, looking at the minifigures category on the top of the box, you can see that obviously you have all the figures here. We'll take a closer look at them obviously later in the video, but the figure in the center, Adrian, the green suited figure with the pink hair, was originally called Hagrid when it first came out, and yeah, I don't know why this one isn't called Hagrid. I mean, I guess obviously since the owl in Harry Potter is named Hagrid, maybe some trademark copyright issues there, not sure. But I did a little bit of research, and yeah, if you look back on photos when this set was first announced, it says Hagrid right on top of the box. I'll try putting a picture up and zoomed in. If you look at reviews for when this first came out, people are calling this figure Hagrid. And if you look in most retail sites or brick set, they also have this figure listed as Hagrid. So yeah, something a little unique there, name change in between this set's life cycle. So yeah, something I didn't know until I did a little bit of research. But besides that, that's pretty much it for this box. Nothing too much more interesting. Obviously in the back it has more of a cinematic box art, and in the front just your typical Lego box art. Still pretty cool from both sides, but yeah, now let's actually get into what is included in this set. Alright, and here is the full set, completely built up, and there is quite a bit to take a look at, honestly. But without further ado, let's get started. As always, we will start off with the minifigures. So first off here, we have Hex. He comes with two accessories, and these are two daggers. Now at first glance I thought these were katanas, because, you know, they're pretty long for daggers, and I think that's just a, you know, misscale on Lego's part, because I wouldn't imagine making a piece that small, or maybe concept art was not distributed correctly. But either way, that's what they are. They're a new mold, a new weapon mold for Minecraft, obviously specifically made for Minecraft Dungeons, but yeah, that's still pretty good. You can obviously tell because of the pixelated little style that they have, as most Minecraft weapons and things do. And obviously we saw a little bit of printing on the back, and the front printing is also pretty good on this figure. I'm glad we got another new figure, and that's just one of 4 new figures included in the set. So alright, moving on. Next up here is Valerie, and the accessories that she comes with are 2 sickles, and these are pretty decently sized sickles. Again, it's a little bit of a scaling issue when they were making these. Obviously they're a bit smaller in game if you ever actually played the game or took a look at it. They're really close range melee weapons. In the back, obviously you can see a little bit of printing. She has a dark blue torso, which definitely pops out with her having red hair, and contrasts pretty well. She has no printing on the legs, just typical tan legs, but again, another new figure. Very good one, very good inclusion. But yeah, this is Valerie. Now moving on. Next up here we have Adrian. This is the renamed character I talked about, which was originally named Hedwig, and I guess they changed her name due to whatever reasons. But either way, that doesn't take away from the fact that this is a very good figure. The back printing has a good amount of detail, and that combo of having dark green and pink hair makes it look, or at least stand out. Very unique. I've seen this like color pair before, and it definitely always stands out, and I mean, it doesn't look bad here. Again, another great figure. Her accessory was a crossbow. So yeah, one of the more interesting figures, not only for the coloring, but you know what happened to her name in between the life cycle of this set. So yeah, great figure again. Now moving on, and the last new minifigure that we're getting in the set is this guy right here. His name is Hal. Of course it is. This is a pretty good looking figure. He has a huge sash, which honestly no one here is complaining about. Obviously we got a little bit of back printing, not as much as Adrian or Hagrid, whatever you want to call her now. He also comes with a crossbow accessory similar to her, and a pretty good expression on his face, just default. Like I mentioned before, the stash is is the main defining feature. No leg printing similar to the other figures, but yeah, it's, again, another great figure. I will always praise Lego and always be happy with any new variation of Lego Minecraft figures that are not Steve or Alex. So yeah, I'm happy with the selection here. Now we have one last figure to look at, and that is this pig here. Now, in the actual game slash set, this figure is actually called Piggy Bank. I actually play a little bit of Minecraft Dungeon myself, and I did see this guy appear once. Pretty much the point of this mob is he's a walking treasure chest, to put it lightly, and if you end up killing one of these, you end up getting whatever he had in his chest. And for this pig in particular, if we look inside the chest, you can actually see 2 new weapon modes for Minecraft Dungeons. I believe this is supposed to be some sort of wand. I'm not, again, I didn't play for too much, but I did play a little bit. And the next weapon included is a battle axe, which this one looks pretty good. Obviously you can tell what it is, and yeah, I mean, I'm not complaining about new modes. And last but not least, we also got 4 emeralds in this chest. Emeralds are like a big currency in the game as well, so this is a pretty good haul. Just depends on the level of the loot and all that, but you know, that's getting into specifics. Right now we're focused on the Lego aspect, which getting 2 new weapons, green studs to represent emeralds, are never bad to get. So yeah, this is the pig. Obviously he's built as a regular pig as well, just replacing a few tiles in his back to represent him carrying the treasure chest, which, by the way, this one is in a gold coloring rather than the typical light brown that they use, or tan. So I mean, I would prefer if they eventually made a Minecraft chest, since pretty much chests are used in every Lego Minecraft set, but I guess they don't deem it necessary. Instead they go with this, which I guess works for the time being. And honestly, I don't see Lego ever making a new, or a Minecraft specific new chest mode, but you know, that's besides the point. Overall, decent figure, definitely a very good reference to the game, and technically consider a new mob too, so you know, take it as you will. Alright, now moving on to the builds of the set. Alright, like I mentioned before, we're going to be taking a look at the builds, and we're going to do it from smallest to biggest, I guess, in this situation. So yeah, let's get started. So first off here, we have a little bit of a workstation. Nothing too impressive or really grand to take a look at here, but as you can see, we have a little bit of a table. It has a printed map on it, so that's pretty neat. It's never bad to get one of those. We got a torch on the side, and on the right side opposite from the torch, we have a little bit of a potion here. Looks to be strength or some healing potion. That's, you guys can make your own assumptions there. We got a crafting table, which surprisingly you don't really ever use in Minecraft Dungeons, or not really that much in a Minecraft type game, so that's something to take a note. You also got a little bit of a cauldron build here, which looks nice, but again, this doesn't really serve that much of a purpose, since you're getting this for the buildable figures and the new minifigures that are included. This is more of a side thing in case you want to play around with it or do anything like that. But also included with this side build is 2 new weapons. This weapon right here is actually a scythe. Looks kind of like the sickle, but obviously on steroids. Has 2 handles, so you can grab it from 2 angles. Your minifigures can. And not gonna lie, pretty intimidating. Again, another Minecraft tool added to the arsenal. Very cool one at that. So yeah, no complaints here for that. The next weapon included is this sword here. I believe this one is called the Cutlass. I mean, it looks like a typical sword. It just has a few parts that stick out, like by the handle right here, and obviously at the tip of the sword it moves a little bit to the left or right. Just depends on how you're holding it. But yeah, 2 other new molds for Lego Minecraft. Pretty neat. Not complaining here. You actually get no real way to store this, so yeah, I would recommend you look for a place to put these. Again, new weapons, nothing really to complain about. It's always neat to get new stuff in Lego Minecraft. So yeah, that has been this little crafting station build. Now moving on to the main builds of the set. Now first off here, we have a Redstone Golem. This is one of the smaller bosses that you encounter in the game, and given his appearance, you can actually tell there's a good amount of redstone implemented. He's made out of a bunch of minerals. You can see redstone ore there, what they typically use for Lego. A lot of redstone themed textures, as well as some printed plates here to represent a bit of crackstone. Everything here is printed, as I mentioned before. No, you rarely really get stickers in Lego Minecraft, so these are pretty cool ones to get. Obviously the face looks very nice as well. The amount of articulation in this figure is minimal, but still pretty good. You can move this arm up and down, and it has a little ball joint, so you can move the front of the arm all the way around, a good 360, however you wish. And it's a pretty good amount of options it gives you there. On the other arm, actually, you get a lot more, since on the side here has a ball joint instead of just a pin. And yeah, you can do like really as much as it lets you here. Lot more movement, and overall a more agile hand, if you want to call it that. With the legs, it's really stuck in one position. Has a little bit of a ball joint there. Doesn't really have knees, so you can really stand it up to the best of your abilities, but you are for the most part limited to a certain position. Not to say it's bad at all, just pointing it out. Also, the head has a little bit of articulation. It is also in the ball joint. You can turn around and make the print on here look like a different face. Not gonna lie, I would put this in cursed Minecraft memes, but yeah, this is how it's supposed to look like. No mouth, big forehead, and you know, either way, you can put it however you want, really. But yeah, this is the Redstone Golem. Now moving on. Here we have the biggest build of the set, and this character is called the Redstone Monstrosity. This is one of the big bad bosses you face as you progress further into the game, and this guy is pretty intimidating, not gonna lie. It's basically the Redstone Golem, just on a lot of steroids, leveled up quite a bit. But again, you can see he shares a lot of the same features as the Redstone Golem, and a lot more translucent red tiles, which honestly just overall look really great on him. His two arms are on ball joints, so he's not handicapped in one arm, similar to the Redstone Golem. Both of his hands are on little hinges, so they can't really do a full 360, just as much as the whole top half of his arm lets you. He has some pretty tall shoulders here. They're different on both sides, so they're not completely identical. The fingers here are actually just big enough to hold one figure, as I will represent here. As you can see here, the Redstone Monstrosity is capable of holding a figure. Not with the best grip, but it is capable. You can move him around and the figure won't fall. Just don't move him around too much. But yeah, you pretty much just, the thumb does all the work there to hold the figure in place. Something else to note is that his head is actually similar to the Redstone Golem. It's on a ball joint, so you can move it up and down. Something a little bit different though is that he actually has a mouth, and it's very much present in this set. You can open it up and obviously give out that roar that I'm sure most of us are aware with if you played this game before. This tile on his head is also a printed piece, so a completely new one for this guy, which looks very nice. He has horns. They don't really move around, they're just brick built horns. And you can see a little bit of the chest pieces from the Redstone Golem used down here, but for the feet of this Redstone Monstrosity. So yeah, it's a pretty big boy. From the back, not too much is impressive here. Not really played it off, so it's meant to be a display piece really from the front. He has a little bit of hip action here. He can turn a good amount of directions, unlike the Redstone Monstrosity. And his legs are also on ball joints, just bigger ones obviously, seeing how he's a much more bigger mob. So you get a bit more articulation with this guy, as you would expect from a bigger figure from the same vein. And yeah, overall, I think LEGO really captured what the Redstone Golem and Monstrosity would look like in game. Obviously, it's a blocky design. LEGO's a blocky product, so it's not that hard to translate. But I, for one, am pretty impressed with what they were able to do here. At least appearance-wise, this is definitely one of the best iterations or recreations of the Redstone Monstrosity and Golem that I've seen. But yeah, guys, that is pretty much it for this set. I went over pretty much everything included on here, and it's a pretty good amount. For $40, I definitely recommend this set if you're a Minecraft enthusiast, even if you aren't. The amount of figures included here, new figures I may add, in relation to Alex's and Steve's that we've been getting over the years. And the change in variety that you get with these new Redstone Monster builds are pretty good as well. Obviously it's for Minecraft Dungeons, so there is a little bit of a differentiation. But overall, you pretty much still get that same Minecraft feel, with a lot less of what most people would consider the filler of the set, with just a bunch of landscape of grass or sand, and more of just some more interesting figures to look at and admire and even play around with if that's what you're into. But yeah, that is pretty much it. I want to thank you guys for watching. I give this set minimum a 10 out of 10. Great figures, great builds, a lot of new pieces introduced here and prints. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed, you know what to do. Yeah, I'm excited for those LEGO 2021 Minecraft sets, seeing what they can bring to the table. And maybe get even more LEGO Minecraft Dungeon sets. For this being the first one, it's a pretty strong start. But anyways, guys, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.